You are listening to Craftcast, the podcast, where soul meets craft. Oh my gosh, it's Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yay.
I know, right? I know before I push the record button, you and I were talking about the days when we were youngins and we would be out partying. Well,
Yes.
you couldn't even go out. I remember that we didn't go out. If you got at the club at 11, you were early and you didn't look good.
Yeah, exactly. I think on the West Coast here was around 10:30 or 11.
It was okay.
Yeah, that was probably because we close at 2. And so it was like all the clubs shut down at 2. Oh, I shouldn't say that. They stopped serving alcohol at 2.
Well,
But the
that's true.
clubs are. But then there's always the after party and blah
Right.
blah blah, right?
I mean, didn't you do it was the clubbing and then you go to, well, I was in LA at the time with a lot of this and New York, but in LA you would go to, oh my God, Cantor's, the
Hmm.
deli that's
Yep.
still there.
Yep. That's still open 24 hours, right?
I think it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there was another place there, Drake's, to go to in LA. And it was to then go,
Ah.
and it wasn't drinking. Then you're just out eating some food with coffee and stuff, but you want to talk about everything. I was mostly in the group of people who were working in the business, performing or whatever. So they wanted to talk about who was there or what happened.
Yeah.
But it was the norm to be at that kind of level of living in the wee hours of the morning from 11 to 3, easy.
Absolutely. And that's one of the difference between East Coast, West Coast, right? And like in San Francisco, we have a lot of restaurants just they close down after a certain time. There's not very many places that are open late. But when we would go out to the club, there was this club called DV8 with a letter
Yeah.
D,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
V,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
the number
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was under this overpass, San Francisco, next to something called the Caribbean Zone, where they had an actual airplane as part of the decor
Yeah. Yeah.
inside of it. And
Yeah.
so we'd go to DV8, and oh gosh, I'm having a memory now. So DV8 had uh, commissioned Keith Haring to make a
Oh,
360-degree mural, right? And so he came in and he did this fabulous mural, and um, that was, and I wasn't very into art back then, but I was part of the group who went in and they were, helping promote this. We're in the VIP room and there's all these people who I have no idea who they are. And then
right.
there's this guy in the corner, and my boss at the time, Larry, who was the producer of all the Macy's fashion shows, right?
Okay.
And he saw this guy and he's like, oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. And he started getting nervous. I'm thinking, dude, you've met Calvin Klein,
Yeah.
all of these different people who you meet on a professional basis. Why are you so nervous about this guy with white hair and a really strange haircut?
Andy
Why,
Warhol.
it was Andy Warhol. Yeah.
Yes.
And
I
so
had
he,
bumped it. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, yeah, he goes over and to talk to Andy Warhol, and I'm just sort of in the background. Hi, I didn't know who that weird guy was, at the time. So
Do you
that
know
was my
something?
brush with Andy Warhol.
I just pulled this out and it's a quote from Andy Warhol. And it
No,
said, yeah, I'm telling you. And it says, you need to let the little things that would ordinarily bore you suddenly thrill you.
interesting.
I thought so too. I thought so too. But that makes sense about redoing like the Brillo soap pad box or the Campbell soup can. The things that ordinarily bore you thrill you. He certainly taught us
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we would after the club, then instead of Cantors, we would go to one of the places called Orphan Andy's, and they were the one of the hamburger joints that were open,
Right,
24 hours sort of
right,
thing. They never closed and everything
right.
like that. And
Yeah, yeah,
everybody would pile in there.
yeah. It's a funny, well, not everyone did that. And as I said to you, my husband never went to a club or did any of that. So
Right.
not
Yeah.
everyone did that life, but for me, it was life. That's what you did.
Yeah, there
You
was
don't
no
stay home
question.
alone in your apartment when
Oh
everyone's
no,
out. You go
no.
find where they are and party. Um, and I also know that the dancing and going to the club part of it, this was pre all gym activity. It was Jack LaLanne was all there was back then. This pre Jane Fonda. I know now going to the clubs after art school, we would go out and just go. Studio One was no, Studio One is LA. It was Studio 54 in New York, but Studio One was where we would go in LA. And you would just walk in and you would dance sweating it up. And we would
Yes.
dance for like close to an hour and then go home. And it was aerobics now I realized we were doing. It was
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
endorphin thing to get out. And it was great.
There
It
was
was
this
great.
one club that we used to go to. It was in San Francisco and Japantown, there was this kabuki theater where they did traditional kabuki, but at night, on the weekends, they turned it into a nightclub. And so they had the regular thing, but then on stage is where everybody would dance. They dance on stage, and there was this huge turntable that was sort of recessed into the dance floor, and they would turn that on. So everybody, the important thing, you had to get on that
Oh,
on the
got it.
turntable
Got
so
it.
you
Yeah,
could be out there dancing and you'd be
absolutely.
turning around.
Absolutely. Hey,
Ah, those were the days, right?
yes, I'm so glad. It was great. It was a great experience. It was a great creative experience.
Hmm.
I was going from then club to club to catch people's act, especially on open mic nights. I mean, I saw so many unfamous people at the time become well known and famous to this day. So the creative experience was fabulous, and yeah, it
Yeah.
was great. It was a great nighttime activity.
Our creativity at that time, it was, in the fashion industry. And so
Yeah,
our thing was to go to the club, see who was wearing what,
yeah,
what the heck is, this what's going on here.
yeah. Oh yeah, check it all out, dance away. I can say I never drank until I was for it didn't interest me till many, many years later. I was always just trying to get water, It's like it
No,
was to dance
not
and
me.
play. Oh, you were drink.
I was the typical 80s.
What were you drink? What was the drink then? I don't even remember.
Oh gosh, because we were still babies, so we were drinking, rum and Coke,
Oh, rum and coke, right? Okay.
right? And then if we were sophisticated,
It was what?
sophisticated, it would be it's called a sea breeze or something like that, which is
That sounds
the
familiar.
cranberry and
Yeah,
vodka. Yeah.
right. I
And then if you really, really wanted something fancy, you got the tequila sunrise.
that I remember.
Yeah.
And it was pretty. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like Coke. I never did rum and Coke. I didn't do, yeah, those were pretty when it was a pretty drink as well. Yeah. For me, the drinking wasn't that important. None of that. It was the dancing and hanging out that was the most important. It was fun. I'd go do it
Yeah.
today, but
Yeah.
I'd want to do it a little earlier in the evening.
Yeah. And bring your craft supplies.
That'd be nice. Listen,
Yeah.
I was telling you, I work out obsessively at a club that's called Orange Theory.
Mhm.
It is like being in a club back then. The music is so loud. The teacher is screaming over a speaker. They're playing music from every different generation, and it's darkly lit. And when I figured out why was I so comfortable in this environment for a gym, I realized, oh, it's like going to a club at night in the old days. So it's still a comfort zone. I love that. Well, we're off to a new year. I've heard, rumor has it that it's 2026 now. Did you
Yay.
hear that too? Yeah.
I think I heard that. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Are you
yeah, go ahead.
are you one to make New Year's resolutions? Because I'm
No,
not. Yeah.
no,
I'm making resolutions all year
I-
long.
correct. No, and I get them done. Do set goals. But one of the ones I just wanted to share on today's chat is this blew my mind. So I sent it to you. So I was 15. And because I had very tumultuous upbringing and moving around and all of that, um, but I know this age because of where I stood to make this video. And I made a stop action video, meaning you move your little character of paper one little frame at a time. So at the end, it looks like it's all moving. Now, how did I even know about this? I think watching Gumby maybe at the time on TV. I don't
Oh,
know how
right.
I even figured it
Gumby.
out. That old, you can Google that, you'll see what that is. But someone gave me a Super 8 camera. I didn't have a tripod. I taped it down so that it was focused on the floor. And then I had some colored paper, scissors, a little baby hole punch, and I did this animated video. All right.
That's
I
cool.
was able to get it developed, but I had never seen it because I didn't have a projector.
Wow. And
Now
so this was,
this brings me back to the whole, okay, I'll tell you at the end. So my son, I had gave him these videos. One of them was a when I was 11, I still had saved this, and considering I was homeless for a year, the fact that I still have this stuff was the concert I went to at the Beatles when I was 11
oh,
years old.
wow.
Now, it's terrible lighting. All you can sometimes see is like Ringo's drum or whatever. He's going to try and get it corrected. But he had this video that I've never seen as animation digitized. So when he was here on Christmas, I was able to watch it on the computer.
Oh, how fun.
Now, I was blown away. I know how hard that was to do and how many hours I had to spend and all those dots and everything. But at the time, because I couldn't draw, I didn't think I was creative
Yeah.
because that
Yeah.
was the measuring stick.
Yes.
When I saw that and thought, what the hell was that girl doing in her room for hours making this animation and all the little details I had put in? And I'm like, and I didn't think I was creative. I have been like on a different mindset since then and just really saying, go for it creatively. I don't need resolutions. I'm just going to go for it every single way I feel like it. It was just an amazing experience to see this video, what, 50, 60 years later that I'd never seen
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
most basic of tools, paper and scissors. Um,
Right.
yeah. And blew my mind that that was me doing it. So I asked a friend of mine who actually does the Craftcast final videos when they're for sale, an editor. I told him the story behind it. And I said, is there any way this could be color corrected just to the primary colors? It's just black, red, yellow, and blue. And he's looking into it because that would be fun to see. Um,
Yeah.
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 So that to me, that set me off for this new year on a new way. It's just like, watch out. Nothing's impossible. It's all possible. Just get out of my way.
Well, and back then, we didn't have any, well, I shouldn't say we, I think that there was a lot of people who didn't have any concept of what they were doing and didn't realize that they were being creative
You're
and
right.
didn't realize that how long things actually take. And,
Yeah.
I have to say my favorite saying, that's what we did before the internet was around, right?
Yes.
It's like we had the time to create stop motion photography.
Yeah. I mean, that video is like a few minutes long, and there's at sometimes maybe 60 dots moving, and every one of them had to move. And I had to do it all in one take. I know that because I'd never find the place again. Um,
Right.
that was hours committed to just having fun doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. It's like when anybody gets into something like that, and all time sort of just goes away and just stops, and you're just
Yeah,
so into it. You're into the zone,
yeah,
and that's where artists love to be.
yeah,
And I guess we didn't have the awareness or words to even talk about that sort of thing back then.
correct.
It's just like this is what we did, and it was just kind of fun.
Yeah. I mean, that's why this quote hit me from Andy Warhol about you need to let the little things that would ordinarily bore you suddenly thrill you. Was like, yeah, that's my quote for the year because it's like that's how you can like really go forward somewhere. It's like it was boring. No, it's going to thrill me. Watch what I can do with this. So, yeah, I think
I
that's
love that.
exciting. Yeah,
I love that. And speaking about, you had mentioned, I think that we were off air. You had mentioned Andy Warhol's and the Brillo pad
yeah,
thing, yeah, that he did. And
yeah.
so many years ago, I can't remember how many years ago, the Campbell Soup
Yeah.
had redesigned their label, and they're finally getting rid of his
Oh,
design.
okay.
And so I went out and I bought like 10 cans of Campbell Soup with the old design, and I have them I still have them, and I emptied them all out, and I used them as cup holders.
Love it.
And they're
Love
just
it.
on my bench, on my workbench, and then it
Love
just
it.
reminds me about
Yep.
this design.
Yep.
And people are like, "Why are you using soup cans?" And
Yep.
so I'm like, well, it's Andy Warhol's final design, and this was
y-
the last time it's ever been used. And
Yep.
you know,
It's thrilling. I mean, I know you're like me. I have so much stuff all around me in my studio. And I could guess someone would say, well, who lives in here? But it's all extremely neatly presented. I mean, it's a eye party for sure, but it's every single thing that thrills me graphically, inspirationally, it's all of that. It's eye candy. And I just really appreciate. So talk about being thrilled with the ordinary. I have so much ordinary on my desk that totally thrills me every time I sit down.
Isn't that funny? It's like we oftentimes need that reminder
Yeah.
of like, hey, look how fabulous this is, you
Yeah.
know?
I know. That's what it's going to be. It's the year of totally fabulous. I think you and I can do that easily. There's some days when you just want to go, oh, if it's gray for too many days, it's a little tricky, but then you have to just come back to it. So I really think at any time in my life, anything is possible to do at this point. And we run into dead ends.
Hmm.
That's for sure. But that's never a sign to give up. It's just like, okay, don't go down that route, go someplace else. So I would think, any inspiration, if that somehow hits the heart for people listening, I hope it does because we all need inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that that's one of the things like once that fire is in you, it's like grab it and go with it, right?
Yeah.
If something resonates with you,
Yeah.
you know, go for it, explore it as much as you can
Oh,
and
yeah.
get to that point when you're in the zone.
Yeah. And be proud of whatever you're making. I mean, I've had enough lessons in my life when I didn't show off my work and then I find out later, oh, I didn't realize that it was that popular or something. It's like stand by your work always, and it's important, you know. It's all
Yeah.
it's all a good thing just to keep moving forward that way. Well, let's end with what do you have on your bench, darling, besides a tequila sunrise?
We talked a little bit about this, but I'm coming up with a new special edition texture box for Texture Smith. And it's going to be great because everything is super customized in terms of, all of our textures. Yes, people get that, but then we're going to have custom molds, and I'm going to be exploring a variety of different techniques as well.
Oh,
So
wait,
not only metal
yeah,
clay, but
yeah.
there's going to be resin and
Oh, I
stuff
was
like
just going to
that. So,
ask that.
and
The
I
resin
do
is
need to talk to Shelly about that, dude.
the
I want to collaborate with her, but
Yeah, she is the guru. Shelley over on Craftcast. If you
yeah,
want to explore resin, she is the guru of it all. Look up her classes. It's
amazing, fun
insane.
stuff. It's
Yeah,
fun.
really fun stuff. I had a lot of fun making as a Christmas present for my son's companion girlfriend. I just took a bunch of like half a dozen rings that were blanks, inexpensive on Etsy, a few dollars, base metal that you could just be adjustable.
Right,
But
right. I remember you telling.
I filled each one of them with fun resin and concrete, and different sparkles, just as fun stuff to wear with any outfit. And you don't have to worry if you're traveling that you lose one or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was really fun playing with resin that way. And Shelley's classes are definitely inspiring with all of that. All right, so you're working on textures. Tell me one mold. Just give us a little hint. One new mold.
I don't want to spoil the
All
surprise,
right. Never mind.
but
Yeah.
but
All right. Don't spoil the
okay.
surprise.
Okay. But
I think
and
that's
then but
fair.
in terms of like, I have some samples that I'm creating for Sinter 2026,
Okay.
which if those of you who don't know, that's a metal clay conference that's
Right.
happening over in Florida.
Right.
It happens every other year,
Right.
sponsored by AMCAW.
Right.
And so I'm making some more samples for that. I'm teaching a class in granulation,
Oh,
which I know you
right.
love as well. Yeah.
I do. How do
And
you make those granules when you do that with silver clay? Are those
well,
bought or are
you're
you
gonna have to
making
go
them?
take the class.
Listen, I did a bunch of, well, granulated work when you're doing it in gold and you're fusing
Yeah.
and you're doing patterns.
Yeah.
That's like crazy work. You have to talk about being in the zone. You can't have anyone breathe in the room when you're doing it.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
absolutely. And the interesting part about metal clay is it can be time consuming when
Yeah.
when you do the technique, but I show people I will be showing people in this class that the different ways that you can actually make granulation. So not
Okay.
only not only are you melting your own granules and, you can use the kiln as well, but there's all sorts of things that you can do with metal clay itself, to make granulation and more importantly, how to apply it properly. Because, with traditional granulation, you have to fuse it at the right temperature and then
Right,
it bonds.
right,
That's how you get that fabulous look, right?
right.
And with metal clay, there's a couple of different techniques that you can use to make those really stand out, and they are fortunately not as fussy as traditional granulation. So
Interesting.
I
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
when you have to fuse that in gold, you have to hold your breath. No one can breathe, and it has to be that perfect moment.
Right, right.
I got pretty good
So
at it, actually. I haven't
yeah.
done it now for a long time because it's a very different Zen place to be at. We were using granules that were the size of one eye on a fly. I mean,
Yeah, yes.
they're little,
Exactly. They
little
are,
baby.
they
Yeah,
can get really super, super
yeah,
tiny.
yeah.
Yeah. But you know what I else I have, and I don't think I've posted this yet on the Texture Smith site, but I've created a new calendar and I'm going to send it to you.
Okay,
I have some other stuff I need to send to you, but
okay,
I'm
good.
going to send that to you. It's this little calendar. And it's a desk calendar that, because nobody really uses traditional
Right.
calendars anymore. So this is like an
My husband does.
interesting looking design,
Okay.
and it's called the Moment Stone calendar. And so
Mm.
basically, what it is this elongated structure, it's like a book. And then when
Mm-hmm.
you open it up, it has every month on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not meant so much for taking notes or anything like that. It's just more of a reference that you can take a look at it. But the idea is that you find a special stone, somebody gives you something, you're on a trip, you're walking down the street and you see a wonderful rock or something,
Mm-hmm.
and you end up using that as the device to hold this open so you can
Hmm.
actually see the calendar. And then every month, it's sort of this really fabulous tradition of like, yes, I had this wonderful moment that, I can remember. And then so
I
on. And
love
then you
it.
can change it throughout the year and stuff like that. So
Oh,
it's
we
just an
love it.
interesting little concept type calendar instead of
I
having your
love it.
traditional boring calendar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I saw this fabulous calendar that somebody made that was all made out of bubble wrap. So every month was bubble wrap, and they had the screen, silk screen on the back every day, and then every day you'd go
That's
pop
cute.
each pop each
That's
one.
great.
It's like I would have
That's
been able to
great.
do it. I wouldn't have been able to contain myself. I would have just
Yeah, right, right.
okay, that
Yeah.
month is done.
I mean, there's so many calendars I loved. I'm not a calendar person. I'm not even very good at knowing the day. And I've luckily been
Yeah.
wearing an Apple Watch for many, many, many years. So I can always look down and know the name of the day, the month,
hmm
and the
hmm
number. So,
So what's on your plate? What's on your workbench?
oh, nothing. Just, what do people say?
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
know
going to
you
chill. Yeah, you
nothing.
know me. You know me. Well, I'm always like, I'm obsessed with seeing what's new and happening and then what to put on Craftcast because I love that people get excited and inspired. That's my high.
Yeah.
More than making things myself. Yes, I do things myself because I need that outlet to get away from things technically. But I love finding new things to do or bringing back old things to teach people because it's good for their health and their well-being.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's my high. And I remember back being a Girl Scout and getting the badge into pen pals and talking to other Girl Scouts around the world, Girl Guides, about what they're making. So it's just who I am. So I love that. And for me, it's learning. It's funny. I wanted to get back into some straight silversmithing classes just because,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I love it. It's an amazing
Well,
art. So,
you said that. I was just having a conversation with somebody about this, and I think that as adults, we oftentimes have pressure to monetize, right? And this idea of taking a class just for the learning experience and then not forcing yourself to monetize it or incorporate it
oh,
into your
yeah.
work or anything like that. Taking a class like, you don't have any, you just wanted to learn more
I
just
want
for
to
the
learn more.
sake of
Yeah.
learning and just for
Yeah.
the sake of keeping up your skills and all that kind of
Yep.
stuff. And I think that sort of break from the everyday, can be
I
really
find it
important,
crucial. Yeah,
you
I find it
know?
crucial. I did start playing just recently, Mahjong. I love
Oh,
it. I'm
right,
going to keep
right.
going with that. I also just started volunteering at a horse rescue farm. Going to keep going with that. All those things to get involved to me are very exciting. Learning is my high. You know, if I'm going to travel someplace, it's because I want to learn something when I'm there. Otherwise, I don't want to leave this because I have too much fun in here.
Right, right,
If I can drive someplace, have fun for the day, that's fantastic. Or the weekend. Did that
right,
in Annapolis.
right.
But otherwise, I just want to go. I love learning. It's just how it is. I love that. So I'm
Yeah.
always willing to sign up for a class just to learn something new. I don't have to keep it as something I do every day, but I want to just learn it and see if I like it.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And I bet you also watched that show How It's Made or something like that.
Oh, that one's good. Yeah.
Where they go
Yeah.
through, and it's fascinating to see all the, like, how do you actually make chain in a factory?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is good.
And at the idea of learning something, I agree with you. Yeah, I think I'm a
Oh,
lot
I
that way
love
too,
it.
because
I love
it
it.
can be anything really. It doesn't even have
Oh, I
to,
agree.
you
I
know.
mean, I've gone to cooking things. Do I ever cook again when I come home? No, but I had a great time learning and in the class. So I'm
Right,
fine with all
right.
that. I love that. Yeah, it's to learn something to me. It's just really exciting. And usually the environment is a high and inspiring being there. So it's like, getting another shot of dopamine for a day of learning something. I mean, it to me doesn't
I
get
used
any
to.
better than that.
I used to really like watching. There was a show about these plastic. It's called Botched, and
I had it
do
on
you
last
know?
night.
Did
I
you?
had it on last night. I had to finally turn it off because I finally said, "All right, I can't take this anymore."
Right, right.
You,
And
the surgeons, the
the
dermatologists.
surgeons,
Yeah,
it's a pair of surgeons and the
yeah,
plastic surgeons, and they end up fixing people who's
had bad
had
surgery
bad
jobs. Yeah,
plastic surgeries.
right.
At the very, very beginning of the show, and they've changed it a little bit now because it's a lot more personality focused sort
Yeah,
of
yeah.
thing, but at the very beginning, I used to love watching they would show actual operations, right?
Oh
And
yeah,
they would show how they're cutting the
oh
person
yeah.
open, and I wouldn't get screamed. Steven, he'd hide his face, whenever
Oh,
that
I'm the
stuff
same
would
way.
come up. But I'm like, wow, look at that thing. Look how he just opened that up and just
I
pried
know.
it
I
open
agree.
just like a steak,
I
And
agree.
there's like,
When I was in the dermatologist's office last 2 months ago, and they had to take something out, the pre-cancer, whatever it was, I was watching the whole time, and I wanted to do the stitches. And I love my dermatologist, a young woman. She's like, "Are you sure you're okay? You're not going to pass out?" I'm like, "No, I really would like to have that needle and do." So
Yeah, I
it's
can't do
very
that.
crafting.
I
Well,
draw the
but
line. I could do it on somebody else. I would be
it
like
didn't hurt. They've
perfectly
already
fine.
numbed
So,
you.
oh
I
no,
could
I
do
don't.
it on
It's
me.
not about the idea of hurting or not. Listen. I could. It just has to do with hurting my own body. I think or that perception, because when I had cancer 30 years ago, I
Yes,
was required to give myself injections, and I couldn't even do that to keep myself alive. I had to, rely on my roommate to
I
do that.
understand that.
This
I
idea of
understand.
hurting yourself, I don't know
Yeah.
if I could do it now. I mean, maybe I could. I haven't really thought about it, but
Yeah, yeah.
you
No,
know,
that's so funny you mentioned that show. I was sort of desperate to watch something. I'll find something. I've given up all the paid channels um,
wow.
because I couldn't find
Huh.
anything that interests me. No, but
Yeah.
if I did, I'm willing to get Netflix again or something. But there's nothing on my screen right now. So, yeah, it's
I'm
like
waiting to watch Wicked, the second part. It's Wicked for Good, and they
I
just
saw it.
released it.
They
Oh, you
did.
okay?
Yeah.
Don't spoil for me.
No, I'm not even going to watch it. I'm not.
Okay. And but I can't wait to see that because I'm a big Wicked fan. I know that
Okay.
Eric has seen Wicked like 1,500 times or something like that. He told
I
me.
don't. Did they say?
Yeah, it was something crazy that, I don't know,
And
maybe it was
I
300.
finally
I don't
saw
have
it
no idea.
once. I finally watched it once. I'm sure he
Yeah,
was at the state. Yeah, probably.
yeah, yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
That's his work and his life. So,
I love
um,
Cynthia Erivo. I mean,
yeah,
she
I
is
do too.
just, oh my God, she is so
I do too.
fantastic. And I don't know what I was doing, but I saw that she was doing they have these Airbnb experiences, right? Where you can
Yeah,
go and
yeah.
you could have these different experiences. And she was hosting one of these experiences, and they've recreated Elphaba's little cave house in Tarzana, I think, I don't know, somewhere in the mountains in California. And it's the exact replica of where
Oh my
she
God, too
lives.
much fun.
And it has all the posters and all this. So it's total immersive. And she's actually there.
That's
during this
crazy.
time period to talk. And I was just like, oh, man, it's all sold out. But, it's like I couldn't imagine just, talking to her and because I just love her so much. And she's so talented,
I,
you know,
yeah. I
and
mean,
have
you just said
fun.
the key word, experiences. That's what I'm into. So it's a year of
Yes.
experiences.
Yes. And it's not a passive experience, right? Like
Correct.
it's not like, oh, you're just
Correct.
sightseeing on a bus. It's like you have to do
3D experience.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
3D, and I'd love to smell, and I'd love to use my
Yeah. Yeah.
hands, and
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
let's go see how they make cheese, or let's go
I
to the
agree.
winery and all
I
that
agree.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
To me, that's the fun. And I'm always, looking around for doing that kind of thing because that's a high to me. So I'm going to make this year chock full of experiences, chock full of great classes for people over at Craftcast so that you get inspiration. There's a few already coming up through the end of March or beginning of April right now that
Yeah.
people, the live ones, the ones that you can come on live and which gives you the opportunity to ask your own
Oh, tell me,
questions.
tell me, tell me.
Well,
Or
I was
can
just
you, can
doing.
you not?
Oh yeah, no, they're all up on the site.
Oh, okay.
I was working on the video right now. I love this one that Lynn is doing, and it's called I forget, we're calling it Beasties, something Beasties. She makes these adorable characters that look like crazy beastie animals, but they're adorable in bright colors. I mean, just to die for. So she's
Out of
showing
polymer
how to
clay?
Palmer clay, sorry,
Yeah.
Palmer clay.
How
And then
fun.
she's also has coming up, which is also really fun, lanyard making, but off of really artistic, not Matisse, but I forget right now what artist I should name, but how to work with color in a way and then making it into a lanyard with a piece. They're both genius.
Nice.
Janelle is doing metal clay rings, but they are like the eternity ring, but she embeds and makes a channel for all kinds of resins, sparkly, all they're
I
fantastic.
saw that. I saw that. Actually, speaking of what's on my workbench, I actually have, I wasn't, I bought the stuff before I heard about the class, but
Right.
I'm working on that channel inlay stuff and
Channel
I have
inlay.
everything that's, it's like mother of pearl, or you can
Yeah.
do whatever
No.
you want to inlay in the band and it's, it's fun,
Oh,
so
now I'm pulling it up. So here's five live ones still coming up through starting the beginning of the year. Next is Wendy Moore in Australia. She's doing her polymer clay earrings, but she calls it mark making. They're genius color combinations and shape combinations. And the mark making, she brings to it meditation and the mark making, which I laugh for myself because I'll have to really not drink coffee or do anything to go along with it. But they are to die for genius. Then it's little beasties that Lynn is calling these characters. It's just like they're too cute for words to make all of them and how she does all the little goodies and embellishments to die for. And then Annette has a polymer class that's woven links and colors that are just
oh, interesting.
exquisite. Oh yeah, big round circles that are
Hmm.
woven then together but different. And then I'm reading
That
everything
sounds
now.
like fun.
Emma is doing metal clay and it's her moon gazing hair necklace in metal clay, which is the rabbit up at the moon, which is a
Oh,
set
right,
stone.
right. I
Yeah,
saw that. That's nice.
so cute. And then Janelle's, it's called Channel Ring Metal Clay Mastery. They are fresh glass, everything. And then Lynn does another, it's Mondrian, who I couldn't think of before, inspired
Ah.
polymer clay designs.
Nice. Nice. And
We
when
could
is
keep
that?
very
That's
busy. They start in a week. We're in the beginning of January, just did New Year's 2 days ago, right? That takes you through January, February, March. And then we'll have more stuff being added at that point. But talk about creative fun. And here's the thing, even if you've never worked in any of those metals, like polymer clay, do the earring stamping things, do the little beasties. You'll have a blast. It's all doable, even if you've never done anything before. And it's a great way to escape and have fun and make something with your hands.
yeah, yeah, that's true. That's
I
true.
mean, I'm so glad that that's catching on and popular, that people, it's coming back to some people doing some crafts because they know how much it helps your brain, that you have happy endorphins, and then you come away with something you made and it's fun.
Yeah,
You and I know that.
yeah.
You and I live in that. Well, darling, we're starting a new year. We've been doing stuff together. We just noticed before 2014 or 13, was it? The first time I said to you, let's do something live, and I had to figure out how to do
Sure.
it that crazy way, where I literally had a phone and a landline that I attached to my computer with a T1, but we had
And that was the
fun.
birth of I Love Tools,
That
right?
was the birth of I Love Tools.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll have another one of those coming up. We love our I Love Tools. And then we're going to have something coming up. Everyone's going to want the I Love Tools handout for 2026 because
Yes,
it be bursting with fun.
I saw all of those things and I was looking at them thinking, oh, I forgot about that one. Oh my
I know,
gosh.
I know, I
I mean,
know.
that's great.
That'll be
Yeah.
getting out in social media with everyone
Now wait,
towards, yeah.
how do we get that? How can we get a copy of that?
If you don't subscribe
Hmm.
to craftcast.com, if you go on and subscribe, it'll give you you can just then download it. It'll give you the choice. But I'm
Okay.
going to make a new way for people to get it. I'm just going to give it to all the teachers, put it on your mailing, send it out as an attachment. I'm just going to
Oh,
put it out
great.
everywhere for everyone because it's too fun. It's like getting a fun PDF that you could spend the evening just looking through and clicking at all the links.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm in.
So,
I'll put it on my site. I
okay,
know that
good.
my
Yeah.
people would love
Loved.
that.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's really fun. So that'll be I'll be doing that probably this week. Just had to take the holiday off. All
All
right,
right.
honey, we'll be talking. Have a good rest of the weekend. I know it's a weird thing. It's Friday. I keep thinking it's Monday because we already did the holiday, but we didn't. So party on, party safe. Keep those tequila sunrises at a bare minimum, not.
I'm researching color, you know.
Oh, right.
It has to
Hey,
be the what kind of colors can I make with my tequila sunrise?
go for it. It's
All right.
Friday night. I'll see you at the club. I'm not getting there till 11:30, but look for
Oh,
me.
early bird.
I will be there. Look for the sequins shining. You'll know it's me.
Okay, well, yes, I'll be wearing sequins as well.
Okay, honey. All right.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
I hope you all enjoyed today's chat. You can subscribe at Spotify or Apple Podcasts and visit us at craftcast.com for inspiring online crafting tutorials and at texturesmith.com for thoughtfully designed texture tools created for modern makers.